I just saw East of Wall. Terrible title for a movie, because a lot of people don't know what Wall is. Despite the fact that you have seen signs for Wall Drug, you don't really understand that Wall is a town almost in the middle of nowhere. Wall, South Dakota is what they refer to east of Wall, specifically a ranch east of Wall. The whole movie takes place in western South Dakota, and it is excellently shot, and it involves the people who lived a lot of the events around this. I'm already going to be gushing about this, so let's just get this out of the way. I love this movie. I can't recommend it highly enough. It is extremely profane, very gritty, and it leads some directions that you think, I'm not sure if I trust the plot here. All told, it delivers on a very important message. It takes place on a ranch that is owned by a woman who's had a very hard string of luck. And she's taken in kids, teenagers, who have no real support system in their lives, because she wants to be that support for people who don't have it. And one of her children really took the loss of the latest father figure very hard. Sounds like I'm throwing it under, like, oh, the latest father figure. It's like, no. Life just happens, and sometimes death happens too. And as stuff is unveiled, and you get to see more details about it, this cast of people who aren't actors for a lot of it are doing an amazing job of retelling their story. So, she owns a small ranch, 3,000 acres, moderate-sized ranch. Let's be honest, it's a good size, and there's a guy who notices that she's selling her horses way lower than they should be valued for, because she feels like she can't get more for them. Ever since she lost her partner, she's not ridden. She's directing the kids how to ride and train the horses, and they're doing well. They're selling horses on TikTok. They're doing everything they can to keep their heads above water. And Portia is the daughter who is the best rider of the group. She and Tabby, the owner of the ranch, they haven't seen eye to eye in about a year. And things just are not getting better for them. Until, at one auction, a man from Fort Worth looks at these horses and says, why are these being sold for so little? Buys one for like $5,000 higher than the most recent bid. And gets the attention of Tabby. She has her mother living with her mother who was abusive to her as a child, but now they've reconciled as adults. And he makes an offer. Not just for horses. To actually make the ranch perform the way it should. The ranch that used to belong to her partner. And it's a struggle. It's just an absolute struggle for her to justify why wouldn't she take this deal. A lot of the movie is about this deal. But what it boils down to, do you believe in yourself? Or do you believe that you're just what you can provide for others? Do you have value in yourself as a person and think that you may be the reason why your life is turning out the way it is? And life it doesn't pull punches. Life is hard in this universe, and it so accurately represents rural life in Wall, South Dakota. It's the rodeo. It's people who are nice to you, but you don't see very often. It's friendly faces in desolate places. You get to see they ride out to the end of the ranch where, this is where the animals are dragged out when they're dead, because we don't want them being too near the house, because then the dogs will get them. Sounds barbaric. That is so relatable. That is life out here on the prairie. And I am so just beside myself that this got a national release. That's why I'm thinking I need to put this out there. even though I forgot to plug in the microphone and the audio is going to be terrible on this, oh man, I cannot recommend this highly enough. If you live in South Dakota, you're going to feel like this is just some person's life. But it's shot in such a beautiful way, and it's so relatable and how hard it's been. And then also you got just great horse riding footage, and based off of a real incident, a real happenstance in that area of the state. It's gorgeous. It's fantastic, and I really hope more people go and see it. It did great at Sundance, and I can see why. This is a tale that I think a lot of people don't know is happening today. The little guy who's just trying to do the best they can against the machine that is trying to eat up every single business out there. Every single passion someone's doing is trying to be ground up and shoved into this efficient machine that's going to make everybody lots of money. Well, yeah, but it's not all about the money. It's about the family, the connections you have with others, and doubling down on that and believing in yourself while you do it. That's the most important takeaway from this. You just... I went into this movie with like zero expectations. I didn't even know this was going to be a national release. I thought, oh, East of Wall. What an interesting South Dakota specific thing to have in our theater. I guess I'll go and watch it. This thing has legs. I want this to do very well. I want the story of how things are for not even the other half of society, how things are in the real world, outside of the Flash, outside of, they're making TikTok videos throughout a lot of this movie, and I thought, this is going to be really showing hyper reality. No, you get to see the reality besides what's on TikTok. You get to see their real lives, the literal garbage that sometimes they're living in, because that's just what's out there on the ranch. A trailer that fell apart. I've delivered to customers who have that exact setup on their ranch. It's like, that's the old house. Never got around to tearing it down, but it's not hurting anybody. Oh, man. This is fantastic. Very, very visceral at times. And I think one of the most authentic films I've seen in theaters in a long time. So, yeah. I'd say go watch East of Wall if you get the chance. I'm probably going to put this out, very shortly after I film it, because I want to give everyone the chance to see this and then go and see it before it disappears, because I could see this just disappearing and never being seen again. I hope it comes out on DVD, because this is one I want to be able to showcase. Like, this was my home experience. Like, not literally, I'm East River, as I said. You'll get it once you see the movie, but... yeah, I know people who've lived this life. I know family who's out in that area, and it's almost a documentary. Yet, it is still a film. The colors are so rich, it's so beautifully shot. You get to see so many different angles of the plains. So many rich colors, so many desolate and just almost barren areas. But at the end of it, there's so much life in an area that has so little of it. And if you can just see the beauty in that and double down on yourself. Sorry, I'm also playing fetch with my dog just to keep her entertained. You get to see that even those incidental weird little tales, when they're told well, can really be life-changing. And I think this one's going to stick with me for quite a while. Well, that's what I thought of East of Wall, and I hope everyone who sees this goes out and watches it. I'll catch you later. Come on, Luna. Come on. There you go. Yep. Oh, you don't say. You want to get it? You want to get it?